Hi, this is Natalie Graves Tucker with Blackstage DC, and I am here with Charity Angel Dawson, who plays Becky in Waitress, and it is happening at the National Theater in Washington, D.C. And I just wanted to sit down and take some time and spend with you just to get to know about you and your journey to Broadway and your waitress journey and just a little bit about you. So we're just gonna have a nice little conversation.
Awesome.
That sound good?
Yep.
So tell me about, like, where did you grow up and what sparked your interest in singing and acting?
Well, I grew up a little bit of everywhere. I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Spent half my childhood in Detroit, Michigan. Couldn't be more opposite. I graduated high school in Phoenix. When I moved to New York, my mom moved to Atlanta, so that became home base. So I've done quite a bit of hopping around. Like in my early years, I feel like it just made me a more balanced person. I started singing very early on. My whole family sings. My mom sings. My dad's a musician, and so music was always in me. And then I kind of fell in love with storytelling like my junior year of high school. Like I got involved with forensics, like speech and debate, and loved it. And then it wasn't until my senior year of high school where I did my first musical, which was The Wiz. I played Eveline. I wanted Dorothy so bad, but they said, that voice, girl, you gotta play Eveline.
I see that. I could see that.
So, that kind of sparked my, my thirst and my hunger for theater. It was kind of late, but yeah, here I am.
And then after that, where did you go? Because you graduated from the Academy of?
From AMDA, the American Musical and Dramatic Academy
That's
in New York.
Right, I got mixed it up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went there. I had done like a year of community college in Phoenix, just trying to figure out what I was going to do, like and I was in this musical theater troupe. They took us to New York for spring break and did like audition workshops and saw shows. I saw my first Broadway show, and I said, wait a minute, people do this, like you can do this for a living. I sat in that theater and I saw Thoroughly Modern Millie and just I looked around at the audience and I said, okay, well, I guess this is an option, so I'm gonna pursue this. So I auditioned, got into school, and moved to New York.
That is great. That is great. Now, I know that you have been in a couple of Broadway shows before Waitress, so I've seen you've been in The Color Purple and Dreamgirls and a couple of other things. Now, have you been in the Washington, D.C. area before?
Yes, I actually was here with Sideshow. I believe it was 2014. I could be wrong. For an entire summer, and I loved it. I had a little Airbnb in DuPont Circle. I thought I was living my life, okay, and I loved being at the Kennedy Center, and it was a really great experience.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So DC Theater has been good to you.
Yeah, very fond memories here.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I so appreciated it. I saw the show last night. When you gave the shout out to Washington, D.C. as to where the next pie shop should be, everybody went crazy. Yeah. That was the best. That was the best. So I'm sure you do that for every city, but yes, Washington, D.C. could use a nice little pie shop. I agree with that. What was the first audition that led you to Broadway? Because like you said, you've been doing other different theater. What was that?
It's very interesting. Everyone's journey is different. Mm-hmm. Everyone's process is different. For me, it was literally one door opening and leading to another door, to another door, to another door. I did a tour of Dreamgirls, a non-equity tour of that, and the company manager, when we went overseas to Tokyo, he came to my dressing room one day and said, I have a friend who's doing an off-Broadway show. Well, actually, first I met Henry Krieger doing Dreamgirls. So we had already met, I'd already had experiences with him, The company manager says, I have a friend who's doing an off-Broadway show. Will you please go in and audition for it? I said, well, yeah, sure.
Of course.
Well, why not?
Right.
So I go in and I audition, I get the job. He's friends with Henry Krieger. He comes to see me in Disaster off-Broadway, asks me to be a part of this concert thing that he's doing at Lincoln Center to sing And I'm Telling You with him and Lillias White, and so I was like, well, yeah, sure, of course I'll do that.
Absolutely.
Then the next week I get an appointment to go in for Sideshow.
Wow.
you know, and so it's because I had that, just had that
Right.
experience with him there. Go in, get it,
Nice.
do it here at the Kennedy Center, and it brought me to Broadway. So it was like one step, next step, next
Lovely.
step, next step.
Oh, that is lovely.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that is, I love, that gives me goosebumps. That's so hopeful. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Great. So, okay, now let's talk about Waitress. So how did you get involved with Waitress? What was that audition like?
Well, I found out about it when I was still doing Sideshow, because Sarah Bareilles is majestic to me, and so, and always has been. And I said, I just want to be, I will step touch in the back. I do not care. I'll be back there like, I don't know what y'all doing in the show, but I just want to be like, and because my friend Kayala was doing it. She was a part of like the early workshops, and so I said, oh my gosh, how did you like, I just want to see what it is. I just want to like hear it. It's something. Then my agent sent me an appointment for it. That Sideshow had ended, and I'd done like a couple of regional shows, and I got an appointment for it. And it was like, I got a golden ticket, just like in my inbox, like
Yes. Oh my
So
God.
I go in, I audition for the casting associate, and
Do you remember what you sang, or did they ask you
well,
to sing
they
songs
gave
from
me
the show?
material from the show.
Okay.
First, they gave me Dawn material, and I went in there with my little glasses, little quirks, and biting my little nails.
Right.
I said, "Look, I'm gonna give you. I think this is miscast, but I'm gonna give you what you
Right.
So,
What you asked for.
I'm gonna give you what you asked for." So the casting associate said, "Oh wow, that was wonderful. I think they gave you the wrong packet." So, can you come back in? I'm gonna call you back, and can you come back in with, the Becky stuff and the Nurse Norma and all that?
Right.
So I said, yeah. I went back in, and when I walked in, Sarah was in the room. Me
Had
shaking.
you ever met her?
No, never met her before. She's one of my favorite artists, and had been forever. So, I was like, oh, great. So this is what we're doing. Awesome. So I did it. I sang, and she's like, "Oh, you have a killer voice. Wow, And I got one more audition after that with a full producing team and full creative team, and they seemed to enjoy what I was doing, and then I got it and did it out of town at ART for the out of town tryout, and went on with it to Broadway.
As Nurse Norma.
As Nurse Norma, and then Kayala left because, of course, she went to The Greatest Showman,
Kayala settled, yes.
to squilt our faces off in
Yes.
The Greatest Showman, and
Because she originated the role as Becky.
of Becky,
right?
yes. And I understudied her the whole time from ART to Broadway. I understudied it the whole time. I went on at ART too for about 5 shows.
And ART for the people in DC.
The American Repertory Theater in Cambridge at Harvard.
Okay.
It's where Diane Paulus tries out all of her shows because
Oh.
she is, that's her space.
Okay, got it.
And so, went on with it to Broadway. Kayala ended up leaving, and they gave me the role, and I took over the role. So I took over October of last year.
I remember seeing the
2016,
post.
something like that.
I remember seeing your
Yeah.
post on Instagram about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
How does that? I mean, Nurse Norma, that was great. But then to be one of the 3.
I love Nurse Norma.
Yeah, I love her too.
I am obsessed with Nurse Norma. It was just so great to originate a role like that,
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
It's
You were great.
so rewarding.
I saw you in
But,
that.
to get the opportunity to take over and be, Becky and do one of the waitresses and put my stamp on it was just like a wonderful opportunity. And then to originate it on tour and take it
Yes.
around the country,
Yes.
it's awesome.
So that's just fabulous. Okay, that's so wonderful. Now, how long does this tour go?
The tour is pretty open-ended,
Oh, okay.
and so it'll be. I know there's dates like into 2019 and all that. So hopefully this thing will be
All right.
going and all across the world.
Okay.
So.
And then, next stop is Nashville.
Yes.
And then, so do you go back to Broadway, or you're on the tour right now?
I'm on the tour right now.
Okay, got it. All
Yep.
right. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
taking some
you.
time out of your busy morning to spend with us at
Absolutely.
Blackstage DC.
Yeah, this is wonderful.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us and learning more about Charity, and we will see you, and thanks for coming and joining us Blackstage.